Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Guerilla Sports Daily. Today's episode is brought to you by Trusted American Mortgage. Trusted American Mortgage wants to save you money on your home loan and possibly get you into a lower interest rate. Go to trustedamerican.com and see how much money they can save you today.
Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, indeed. Welcome to Guerilla Sports Daily. My name is Ruben Villalobos. Happy New Year, everybody. I don't think we did a show yesterday because I think everybody was off. So I get to be the first to tell everyone Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you so much for an awesome 2024. You guys made it. Every one of y'all made Guerilla Sports what it is today. And we want to thank everybody for an awesome 2024. So welcome again to 2025. Here we go. But unfortunately, we're going to be talking about obviously all the local sports, Nuggets, Avalanche, Broncos. But we're going to have to start off, with some sad news today. Obviously, the events down in New Orleans is just, I hate talking about these type of topics to start out, the year, but we have to kind of talk about it because it did happen in a place where, sports is supposed to happen, a great place where people go and, let go of their problems to watch a sport that America loves. And, but, just to recap what happens, on January 1st, basically the midnight hour, tragic accident, or what it's being called now, a terrorist type of attack, happened down in New Orleans in the French Quarter. A 42-year-old man from Texas identified as Shamsuddin Jabbar drove a pickup truck through a crowd on Bourbon Street, resulting in the deaths of at least 15 people and injuring a dozen more. And then obviously after crashing the vehicle and running so many people over, the man gets out and gets a firefight with law enforcement officers, and it was just awful, just absolutely awful. And we just want to start out today by just giving condolences to the families and anyone who's been injured as a result of this. And it sucks. It's terrible. It's terrible that we have to start out this year like this and start this show out like this as well. But because of that, the Sugar Bowl between Georgia and Notre Dame has been postponed for tonight, just to ensure public safety. And I can totally understand why. But the city has increased their enforcement presence and is conducting thorough sweeps to prevent further accidents. And but again, condolences to the families affected by this, because it's absolutely tragic, and you hate to see that. And damn, you can't even go to a football game without something happening, and it's absolutely awful. But anyways, we're gonna move on from this awful, tragic incident, and we're gonna go into some local sports, starting off with some Denver Nuggets news. Your Denver Nuggets get a win last night, 139-120 over the Atlanta HAWKS. Nuggets now on a 3-game winning streak. Yesterday had a season high of 44 assists, and they swept the season series between the Hawks. They snapped their 4-game win streak, and also the Nuggets had 7 players in double figures, so everything was looking good for the Nuggets yesterday. It was like one of those games where you're like, you know what? The Nuggets are up by 20, around the 7-minute mark. I think I'm going to get out of here and beat the traffic. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. The Nuggets were on it yesterday. They went 21 from 21 from the free throw line, and 76 points in the paint. So the Nuggets just dominated in the paint. They were absolutely amazing. And you know who else was amazing? Nikola Jokic with another triple-double, 23 points, 17 rebounds, 15 assists. I mean, the man is just, what's scary? Nikola Jokic has leveled up this year. He's leveled up. You thought he was scary last year. People were saying, oh, he's out of shape this year. Well, he's out of shape, right? And he's still making the NBA look silly. He almost had a triple-double at halftime. I think it was like a rebound short or something like that. And it was great. Nuggets were up big. He got to rest the entirety of the fourth quarter. That's awesome. Jamal Murray pitched in 21 points. He's looking awesome as well. I think he scored 20 plus points in the last 4 of the last 5. I think the only one he didn't score over 20 points was the loss at the Suns during Christmas Day. But whatever. You know what? Seems like Jamal Murray is finding his groove, and the Nuggets are benefiting because of it. Russell Westbrook added a double-double, 16 points, 11 assists. And it's been a Russell Westbrook, kind of like not revenge tour, right? But like a redemption tour, basically, because a lot of people wrote him off. And it seems like he just had to be in the right organization. And kudos to Russell Westbrook. He's been awesome. Love the energy he inputs for that Nuggets team. And since he's been starting, obviously you do miss Aaron Gordon in that lineup, but because he has been starting, it seems like the Nuggets get into a little bit of a fast starter, into more of a quick pace to start the game. And you like to see that, especially at altitude, make the opposing team tired. But you know what? The Atlanta Hawks, I can't remember the halftime score, but it was like 70. The Nuggets allowed 70 points at half. Trae Young finished the game with 30 points, 9 assists. And DeAndre Hunter with 20 points, 4 rebounds. He's coming off the bench. If I'm the Atlanta Hawks, I don't know why that dude isn't starting. The DeAndre Hunter is averaging 20 points a game. Why is he on the bench? Like, your starting 5 is kind of suspect as it is. Atlanta Hawks, well, what are you doing? But anyways, Malone was actually he was pretty upset at the halftime score, and he challenged the players during halftime. And actually, we caught up with Christian Brown, who talked about this yesterday. Play the clip. Let's see what he said.
Hey, CB, coach said at halftime that he challenged you guys because of how many points you give up in the first half. When he does that, how easy is that as a team? Like, is there any conversation that goes on afterwards, or it's like, okay, we got it, and then you just go out and execute?
I think we shouldn't have to have that challenge, and that's on us. That's on me. We got to do a better job from the jump, and that's kind of been a theme for us. We need to win first quarters, and we do a better job of setting the tone, early. But he did challenge us, and I think even without him challenging us, we knew, we weren't playing well on the defensive end. We weren't getting back in transition. There wasn't enough effort, so we kind of knew that as players. We just got to stop trying to flip the switch and just set the tone and bring defense every night.
Yeah, that has been the theme of the Nuggets, particularly this season, and it's cost them a little bit more this season than it was last year. They tend to flip the switch, yeah, but also you kind of have to dictate the first quarter, the first half, to kind of be able to give you momentum into the fourth quarter. You don't want to be giving up 70 points, 80 points. Like the halftime score for the Nuggets lately has been atrocious. And Michael Malone had some very interesting comments yesterday following the game. Chloe, play that clip. Let's see what he got to say.
Is it frustrating or that they can kind of flip a switch like they did at half, or is it comforting knowing that it is there? How do you approach those two halves?
I would say it's a comforting frustration, if there's such a thing. I mean, I love the fact that I know that this team, can score the basketball at a high level, and we can do it very efficiently, and we can do it playing team basketball. I mean, we lead the league in assists per game. We lead the league in fast break points per game. We lead the league in paint points per game. So you love that we have that in our arsenal. But I know for us to be a dangerous team and a team that can advance, the defense has to be there, and it's got to be a lot more consistent. And I said to him at halftime, I said, I love the fact we're 7-3 in our last 10. And I love the fact that we have the number 2 offense in that stretch. But what pisses me off is we have the number 22 defense in that stretch. So, yes, we're winning, but we're not winning right now the ways that we need to in order to build the necessary habits so we can beat the best teams in this league. And we've already shown we can do that. And if we play the right way, and it's going to be tested the rest of this month and the rest of this season.
Yep. Listen, the NBA season, it's crunch time now. I think the Nuggets have 17 games in January, 16 now they played one yesterday. It's go time. But despite the ebbs and flows and bad games and good win streaks and bad win streaks, the Nuggets are right there. Let's bring up the NBA standings real quick, Clay. Let's bring that up. Okay. I believe the Nuggets were like at number 8 just last month. I mean, they were struggling. They were struggling last year. And look at them now. In 4th place. To start the year, I had the Nuggets finishing 4th. So if they can stay in that spot and just stay right there. I mean, look how close the standings are, between like the 4th and the 8th seed. I mean, it is super tight. So now it's like a 3-game win streak can put you, nice little comfortable lead, but 3-game losing streak, it'll drop you down immediately. So it's crunch time for the Nuggets, and that defense better start improving, because you can't be giving up huge halftime deficits or huge halftime. You can't allow a team to just run it up on you and think you're going to outscore them. Like, you got a little bit lucky yesterday because you were able to tighten up there in that third quarter. The Nuggets broke open the game with a 39-14 run in the third quarter, which was great. Trae Young gets called for a technical foul during that stretch, and everything was great, but it's not going to be like that every game. So you got to bring it defensively from the jump. It's hard to sustain it for a full game, but from here on out, I mean, if Malone, you're going to be hearing this from Malone quite a lot, is the defense, and we all know he's a big defensive guy. Hopefully the Nuggets get the message, because this is not sustainable. But anyways, good win by the Nuggets. Next game is Friday versus the Spurs. And hey, listen, if Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic can just continue dominating with that 2-man game late, I think they'll be all right. But defense is the key. Alrighty, let's move on to the Avalanche. Avalanche are in action tonight. They're hosting the Buffalo Sabers. I love me some Avalanche. And much like the Nuggets, they're right there. They're right there. Remember when we were freaking out earlier in the season? Remember when we were all like, oh my God, the sky's falling. The Avs are not the same. Goaltending is a mess. Well, let's bring up the standings real quick. Look at them right there, just climbing up in 6th spot right now in the conference. That's good. Third in the Central Division. They're climbing their way up. And it seems like everything's kind of clicking now for the Avalanche. I like it. I like where this team is heading. We were freaking out early, but you know what? This is what good teams do. They're eventually going to figure it out. They just rebolster their goalie room, and everything's looking good. But tonight they do host the Buffalo Sabers. The last time, this is the second time they meet during the of this year, and the last time the Avs won 5-4. I believe it was over there. It was a road game. And here the Avs are, right? Goaltending has been so much better with Mackenzie Blackwood, and they're just like this level of confidence that the Avs are starting to acquire, and they're starting to look a whole lot better. And after the game versus the Winnipeg Jets, Jared Bednar has some really interesting things about just kind of like how everything's kind of shaping up despite the slow start. Hit the clip.
Our goal is to finish as high as we possibly can. Always is, because, and it's not really about the standings for me. It's about, well, number one, you got to get in. But I mean, it's more about, if you're getting the results with as deep as the West is and how good everyone's playing, like if you're getting the results, you're doing something right. So it's more about the way we're playing and the way we have to play in order to have success long term and at the right time of year. So I think we're getting there. Like, we've made huge strides as a team, even with all the guys that are out. We still haven't seen our full team, and hopefully we continue to improve. But I like our team's mindset right now, attitude, work ethic, all that. So hopefully we can keep it going, and we're getting closer with our consistency of like putting the full 60 in, which I like.
Well said, Jared Bednar. I love how he says about. I love it. I don't know. I wonder where Jared Bednar is. I'll have to ask Jesse, because I love that accent. But no, Avs are looking so much more confident. I love the way that this team is like looking. They're more aggressive, and there seems to be like a level of like confidence in the goaltending now that there just wasn't before with Alexander Georgiev. And now they're just like they seem to be playing more unified on the defensive end, and there's just like this confidence level that it just keeps building and building, and you love to see that. So Avs, let's go Avs tonight. Let's beat a struggling Buffalo Sabers team who's just hasn't been very good this year, and let's continue that win streak and defending home ice, because it's You much like the Nuggets schedule, it's going to tighten up, and these games start to really matter because they start to stack up incredibly quickly if you're not careful. The losses, I mean. So, anyways, let's go Avs, and let's move on to a little bit of Broncos. The Broncos, as we like to call it here. The Broncos. I didn't get a chance to talk about this after the loss to the Bengals, which was another heartbreaker if you're a Broncos fan, because you had it. You were so close. We're like that meme where it's like the State Farm commercial or whatever, where he's holding the fishing rod and he's got that money and he's like, oh, you almost had it. That's been us the last 3 weeks. We've been so close to get into the playoffs. We've been so close to like doing all these things and just clinching a playoff berth. And we're just missing it. So the theme for today for the Broncos is take care of business. Please, Broncos, take care of business. Seems like the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be resting quite a few starters. Broncos, you got to take advantage of this. Don't take it easy. Don't think it's going to be an easy win, because you know what's going to happen is, yeah, a lot of starters are going to be out, but you know who's going to be stepping in? Players who want to make a name for themselves or are playing for either a contract for next year. Like, they have something to play for. Like, these are professionals. They're just because they're second stringers, third stringers, that doesn't mean these are pros. Take care of business, Broncos. This is what we all wanted, right? As Broncos fans, the big games that matter. We've had 3 of them so far. You have 1 more to close out the season to at least get a playoff berth. And it's been a struggle to kind of finish those late game drives. It's been a struggle to kind of, basically put a team away or do enough to just get yourself over the hump. It seems like those late game drives are been a bit of a struggle for the Broncos, particularly in overtime against the Bengals. And that it seems like it was a bit of an emphasis yesterday whenever we caught up with Bo Nix. Hit that clip and see. Let's see what Bo Nix had to say.
Well, they're huge, and honestly, there's no replacing them. So what you get during those games is what you got to go off of, and that's true pressure in the moment. That's true time that you got to go out there and deliver, and we've been able to do that several times. Fortunately, we've been put in those situations, but at the same time, I think we're still looking for the one that wins the game. But just those drives in themselves just provide just a layer of confidence that tells you and shows you can go out there and do it. And, we're really close, and I feel like we say it every week. But, eventually one of these drives, one of these games, it's going to lead to, having more points than them at the end of the game, and it's going to be, a game winner. But until then, we just got to rely on our training, what's got us there, and continue to, make those moments and be in those games because, eventually it'll go our way.
Yeah, you just got to keep trying. You got to keep going. And it seems like the Broncos have been, from the beginning of the season till now, you've seen progression of like the team being able to learn from their mistakes and Bo Nix, understanding, from game to game, like, oh, you know what, I made a mistake here. I should probably plant my feet a little bit better here. So it's great to see that progression of them being able to learn from their mistakes. But it is one of those things that for the last 3 weeks, it's kind of harped the Broncos is not being able to finish those drives, those late game drives, or just being able to just get one solid score just to be able to put the team away or put yourself in a better position. But you know what? The great thing about this Sunday is, hey, you're playing at home. You're going to be in those beautiful throwbacks. And Bo Nix loves playing at home. And he was asked about it of whether or not, playing at home is going to be some sort of advantage. I think he likes it. Play the clip, Chloe.
We're going to lean on them a lot. I think, it's not going to be 100% because we still got to go out there and play. But everything that they provide is only going to be, an added bonus for us. It's only going to be a competitive advantage for us. So, in saying that, we, this is I guess the epitome of a home game. You get, the chances to go to the playoffs for the first time in a while. If I'm in orange and blue, I'm probably not going to be quiet the whole game. Thank you.
Yeah, and Broncos Bronco fans, if you're listening, if you're going to go to the game, you better be so loud, because anyone who's at the stadium on Sunday, Bo Nix is going to need you. No, listen, this Kansas City is no joke. Like, they're very well coached. They're likely to start Carson Wentz. And again, another person you shouldn't take lightly. Granted, he's no Patrick Mahomes or anything like that, but people forget he was an MVP candidate whenever he was with the Eagles. He had a phenomenal season there up until he got hurt. Hasn't quite been the same, but you know what? He can still make those big time throws. And he's a smart player, so don't take it lightly. The preparation is very important. Sean Payton actually talked about kind of like the whole scope of this, of being able to prepare yourself and just how important this game is. Hit the clip, Chloe.
I've got a lot of confidence in the team, and yeah, it's a big game. Like I said before, I think we'll play them bigger, but this is a big game. It's a division opponent. I mean, we're playing a team with championship pedigree. They're well coached, and we've got a tremendous amount of respect for what they've accomplished, and we understand that we're going to have to play well, and so. But that's what gets you excited about coaching in this league, and what gets you excited about playing in this league. And it's important we have a good week of preparation.
Yep, take care of business. Just take care of business. Bronco fans, listen, win or lose, this has been a tremendous success this year. We exceeded expectations. First time in a while that we've had a winning season. And, granted, yeah, if we get into the playoffs, you're going to have to face the Bills. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? Gotta win. You got to win this Sunday. But just a reminder for Broncos fans, look where we were last year. Look where we were 5 years ago. Look where we were 10 years ago. I mean, it took us about 10 years to get where we are. We're already kind of, after the Bengals game, I kind of took to Twitter and see what people were saying, and people were already wanting to fire Sean Payton. Bronco fans, can we stick to one plan for a little while? Finally, kind of like, let's stop pretending like we're going to go to the Super Bowl. We're not. If we do, holy smokes, will that be like the greatest upset, greatest run of all time? But let's be realistic, Bronco fans. Like, if we don't win this Sunday, it's not the end of the world. But also, it's a great learning opportunity for Bo Nix to learn from these mistakes and get better, because this is only the first step. This is the first step of something to build upon, to make your team better, to make your team elite. Because right now the Broncos are in this tier of like, we're good, but we're not bad. But we can be really good, but we're not quite elite yet. So again, completely outdid yourself this year and enjoy it. Enjoy this moment, because who knows, maybe next year we're going to be worse than we were this year. Or let's hope not. But it seems like Broncos are taking the right steps to get better every year. And don't get ahead of yourselves. Just enjoy the moment, Broncos fans, because we've seen in the last 3 weeks, we were primed to win 12 games, and all of a sudden we can finish with only 9. So enjoy it. Enjoy it, because you know what? Next year the expectations are going to be even higher, and the pressure is going to be even stronger for Bo Nix and company. But we actually did have I think we had some Pro Bowl selections that were just announced today, and our own BK, Brandon Cristal, sent us a video to kind of give some information on it. Chloe, let's see what BK had to say.
BK here, and news out this morning of the NFL's Pro Bowl rosters. Again, it's no longer the Pro Bowl game, it's the Pro Bowl games. Peyton Manning coaches the AFC typically, Eli coaches the NFC. Eli's 2-0. They do a series of skills challenges and some sort of flag football type stuff from time to time, as well as the big dodgeball game at the end. It'll take place in Orlando the week before the Super Bowl, and 3 Broncos will be there. PS2, for the 3rd time in his career in just 4 seasons, is a Pro Bowl starter, along with Marvin Mims. He's 2 for 2 as the top returner in the AFC, and then Nick Bonito having a Defensive Player of the Year kind of season. 8 players are alternates. Zach Allen probably the biggest snub, but as Shelby Harris, who's a D lineman in his own right, told me this morning, when you're a 3-4 defensive end, you kind of get lost in the shuffle as far as what position you'll be in the Pro Bowl. But The other 8 Broncos, or the other 7 Broncos joining Allen as alternates: Garrett Bowles, Michael Burton, Mitchell Fraboni, Brandon Jones, Will Lutz, Quinn Miners, and Bo Nix all have a chance to participate if players drop out. PS2 joins pretty rare company with guys like Vaughn Miller, Terrell Davis, Steve Atwater, Floyd Little among the 8 Broncos who have been selected to 3 Pro Bowls in their first 4 seasons. It'll be fun to see the Broncos a part of it, and maybe some of these other guys get in as alternates if players drop out. For all of your Broncos coverage, keep all your social channels locked to everything we do here at Guerilla Sports.
Thanks, BK. That's great. You love to see it. You love to see great players get rewarded, and hopefully we get a couple more Broncos get rewarded for their hard work this year, despite the limited availability of like being able to spend money, because of the cap hit that Russell Wilson had on the team. But you know what? Again, exceeding expectations, and enjoy it, Broncos fans. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Guerilla Sports. I got the Gen Z master back there. Chloe, say hello. Hey, give me a thumbs up if you think the Avs are going to win tonight. Give me 2 thumbs up if you think they're going to win by more than 3 goals. Yeah, that's what I like to see. All right, thank you so much, everybody. My name is Ruben Villalobos. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, like and subscribe to our channel. And also make sure to follow us on everything social. And today's thank you for Trusted American Mortgage for sponsoring today's show. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day. See you, everybody.